One of the most exciting parts of starting a new business is finally being able to pay yourself from that business. It is so exciting, but it's also one of the things that is very confusing when you're new to business and don't know how to pay yourself as an LLC. When you are an LLC, you have a couple different options on how to pay yourself. You can do a salary option, or you can go with what's called an owner's draw. This is what I do, and it's personally the reason why I love having an LLC, and I think it's a great option for a lot of business owners. So in this video, I'm going to go over what owner's draw is, how it works, and how you can use it to pay yourself from your business. So what exactly is an owner's draw? First, this is basically when an owner of a business that is an LLC takes money from the business accounts and then transfers it to your personal accounts to use for personal spending. Remember, this is very important. You need to keep the business and the personal separate. You always need to have those accounts separate, which is why you have to do an owner's draw so money moves from the business account to your personal account and then can be used for any personal spending. You should never commingle your business and personal finances, so that's an important step to remember. You have to withdraw that money from the business before you can do any personal spending, and mixing your business and personal spending together and mixing your expenses can lead to tax and legal trouble down the road, and you really don't want that. Owner's draws are great because they actually help prevent that commingling, so it's a very clear separation. Your money is in your business account from the things that you do in your business that earn you money, and then an owner's draw moves that money from the business to the personal side. It's a very clear movement and something that you can document in your bookkeeping and have clear for tax time. So once you have moved the money from the business side to the personal side via an owner's draw, you're then able to spend that money on the personal side for anything that you need, from rent to shopping to feeding yourself. It's all available over there after the owner's draw is complete. So now that you kind of understand what an owner's draw is, how do you set up the owner's draw in your business so that you're able to make this work for you and pay yourself from your business on a regular basis? First, make sure you have your LLC. If you don't already have your LLC set up, I will leave a link in the description box that allows you to set up an LLC for free. It's a really great resource. You can also just go ahead to the state that you want to set up your LLC in and do that on the state business website. But if you're watching this video, you probably already have your LLC in place. So step one on the owner's draw is to actually make sure you have your EIN number. Your EIN number is the employer identification number, and this is what separates your business income and lets the IRS track your business and all of the finances from your personal side. So instead of using your social security number for your business, you will use this EIN number, and it creates a clear separation, which is very important. Like I mentioned before, keeping that personal and business money separate. The EIN number allows you to keep all things with your business under that number. Once you have an LLC, this is really easy to get the EIN number. You can apply for it directly on the IRS website, or if you have a tax professional helping you, they can help you do that as well. Applying for the EIN number is easy to do on your own, but if you do want some help, I will leave a link for that in the description box as well, in case you do want someone to walk you through it. Step two in getting your owner's draw set up is to set up a business bank account. You may already have a business bank account set up, but if you don't, you need to do this step right away. You cannot just have business money going into your personal account and think that everything will work out fine on the back end. You really need to have this separate for the tax purposes and for paying yourself in a way that sets you up for success. Most banks do have options for business bank accounts, and I have a video sharing some of my favorite business bank accounts, or you can go ahead and open one with the sponsor of this video, Relay. Relay is a business banking and online money management platform that has revolutionized how small business owners see their money. Relay is all about giving clarity to business owners so that they can understand what they are doing day to day and how that affects expenses and what they can pay themselves. It's a great tool to have in your business, and it's how I've been able to implement the profit first model in my own business so that I'm able to have a owner's draw with a steady paycheck and also benefit from the profit that I bring in through my business. I will leave a link to Relay in the description box if you want to open up a business bank account there. It does give you a little bit of a bonus for opening your account and then depositing $100 into that account. So I hope you enjoy that little bonus. All right, now we've moved on to step 3. We have our EIN, we have a business bank account, and now it's time to actually set up the owner's draw. This is super simple with most banks, and you can do it in 3 different ways. So you have 3 different methods to make an owner's draw from your account to pay yourself into your personal account. You can do this via cash, you can do this via check, or bank transfer. I highly highly recommend you only do check or bank transfer because you'll have a more clear record of what you're doing, and that just makes it easier for taxes and bookkeeping purposes. So definitely keep that in mind. Withdrawing cash is an option, but probably not the best choice. Personally, since I use Relay, I have a automation set up to pay myself with an owner's draw from my owner's compensation account every single week. So I have my $1,000 that I pay myself every week automatically transferred from my business account at Relay to my personal account so that I can spend it on the things that I need in my personal life. This makes life really easy for me because I've set up my owner's draw to kind of function like a salary so that I know I have a steady amount coming every single week. For me, that works really well, but I've also set up the profit first model so that I can still make additional owner's draws whenever I have a large amount of profit in my profit account. You just need to make sure that all of the details, the amount, and the purpose are recorded over there so that you're not in trouble once it's time to do your taxes or for any bookkeeping needs. It's always important to keep records of your business transactions, and owner's draws are no different. So once the money has been withdrawn, you've recorded it, it's done. That is your owner's draw, and now the money is in your personal account and it's ready to spend. That is really it, and that is all you need to know about how to set up the owner's draw. There are a couple things you might want to know. Paying yourself with an owner's draw is one of the things that I personally really like about having an LLC, because while you have the option as an LLC to pay yourself via a salary that you can use a payroll company to do, you also can just do owner's draws, and that makes things so simple and so flexible. You don't have to have a set salary, so you can pay yourself at any time, at any interval, and at any amount. If you are someone that has a business that is going to have really up and down months where sometimes you earn a lot of money and sometimes you don't earn that much, this can be a really helpful method for paying yourself, because when times are good, you can pay yourself a little bit more, but then when you know you need to keep more money in your business account because you're not going to bring in that much, but you still have expenses, you can pay yourself a little bit less. Your owner's draws do not have to be consistent, so you can pull out a lot more money at certain times than others and base it around your life and your business as those things change, as the money goes up, as it goes down, and this makes it super flexible. That flexibility is one of the huge benefits of having an LLC and setting up your pay like this. But again, if that stresses you out and you want a regular amount every single paycheck, you can also set that up as well. There's no set need to pull out a certain amount with an owner's draw. It is up to you as the business owner to decide, and that's awesome. That's fantastic. But if that stresses you out to have really irregular amounts coming to your personal account, you can also set up your owner's draws to be consistent. That's what I've done, and having a steady amount come out every single time I want to get paid has made life a lot more simple on my personal side, where I budget my money very carefully. The great part about using an owner's draw to pay yourself from an LLC is that you get to decide. You get to choose how much you pay yourself, when you pay yourself, and all you need to do to stay on the right side of the law and the IRS is to make sure that you are recording it and you are doing it properly by moving that money from the business account to your personal account before you spend it on any personal expenses. Another thing you should keep in mind when you are setting this up and figuring out how much you want to pay yourself is that you really need to leave enough money in your business accounts to pay for your expenses. So business owners do pay more in taxes because you are paying a self-employment tax that previously your employer was paying, but now you're paying 15.3% more as a self-employment tax. So you need to make sure that you are covering that amount and what you would pay for income tax as well. You need to make sure you're setting aside money for taxes, but also for future expenses that will come up in your business. It is super tempting to pay yourself as much as you possibly can, but you need to be realistic and make sure that you have the money still in your accounts set aside for those future expenses and taxes. So you need to make sure that you're leaving money in your accounts for those future expenses. One way to do this is to use Relay and use their multiple account system so that you're able to set up accounts for things like owner's draws and for saving for expenses. This allows you to put a percentage of your money every time it comes in into these accounts so that you know you have the money set aside when you need it. If you don't want to use a multiple account system, you just need to keep detailed records and know how much you have in your accounts and anticipate those expenses so that everything is covered. That is just a word of caution to avoid one of the big mistakes of new business owners, especially where you don't anticipate having a huge tax bill coming up and you just don't have the money to pay it when that time comes. I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to use this owner's draw method to be able to pay yourself when you want to, however much you want to, and enjoy all the flexibility and benefits of being a business owner. If you want to see more about how to set up your accounts at Relay, definitely watch this video next. It will show you you how you can set up accounts for owner's draws, expenses, taxes, and everything else you need.